Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time doing my first Halloween review for 2022, and this one is on Disney The Haunted Mansion 2003 Halloween Disney Review. Now, The Haunted Mansion was a 2003 supernatural horror comedy film that was directed by Rob Minkoff and written by David Benenbaum, and was meant to be based on the Disney attraction, The Haunted Mansion. And keep in mind, when you had other attractions like Tower of Terror, Pirates of the Caribbean, and the Country Bears being made into actual films from their attractions, there was always going to be a different premise or something different based from the ride. I think Haunted Mansion, the 2003 one, was just meant to be like doing what the other rides were supposed to be doing. So the premise of the film is meant to follow Jim and Sarah, who are successful retailers, with their two children, Michael and Megan. I would say the difference between Jim and Sarah is, I think Jim kind of lets goals and ambitions cloud his judgment, and you can tell Sarah does get annoyed with Jim's irresponsibility. We also do see how they are given a sort of big break in sort of expecting this mansion for a potential sale. And we are also introduced to Ramsley the butler, played by Terence Stamp. And I would say Ramses definitely works as a character because there's a bit more about him. There's also signs and hints that about his sort of hidden secrets. And I think when you do have Master Edward Gracie, I think he definitely works as a character because you are meant to feel sorry for him. You can kind of tell there's more truths about him than there was. And over the course of the film, not only do we see Jim sort of realising what really matters, but also trying to find a way to break the curse, as well as having his two children help him on the way. And I would say the film is not that bad. And again, that was the thing about Disney. Any attraction they saw, they needed to make into an actual film. I think Tower of Terror was like the blueprint. I think Haunted Mansion was just kind of the starting point to what they were intended to do. And I think Eddie Murphy does work as a great character because I think when he does play Jim, he knows he's a screw-up and does want to fix things with his family. And I think they definitely know how to do well with the horror stuff, like showing the zombies, the sort of talking, like, head statues, as well as having Jennifer Tilly to voice Madame Leota, a sort of ghost in a sort of crystal ball. And I think Jennifer Tilly really does a great job as Madame Leota. She kind of serves as the moral compass, putting the characters to the test and struggles. And I think the film really does a great job in not sort of forcing down the sort of racism that was kind of shown in the film, because when Ramesses talks about that girl and also saying know their place, you know they aren't afraid to sort of sugarcoat the racism. And I think Ramesses definitely works as a great foil to Master Edward, because the point of Ramses is just meant to be a dark counterpart to Edward. And you can tell in his own mind, he lets his racism, his as well as his beliefs, get the better of him. And sometimes, yeah, racism can cloud your judgment or turn you into something far worse. And I actually do admit, it's not really a bad film, Haunted Mansion. Again, it's just a family going to the mansion, seeing the sort of stuff around them, and trying to put the pieces together on what happened to Master Edward's love, Elizabeth. And I think the ending does feel a little anticlimactic, and I think the ending does give you a little bit of a sort of emotional break, knowing that everything got fixed in the end. I think it's a shame that a lot of people criticize the film, even Nostalgia Critic and other critics. I think it was that thing where Disney saw things as ways to kind of do something with the rides, the attractions. And I think the point of making a movie based on a ride, you want to sort of do something fresher, newer, and something to give people a taste of a different setting. And I know there is a reboot in the works that is going to be directed by Justin Simon, and it's going to be released next year in March 2023. I think people gotta remember making a movie means having to take some liberties, altering what you think you can, and making it safely your own, as long as it's done carefully. I think to me, Haunted Mansion isn't really a bad movie. It's just Eddie Murphy being Eddie Murphy. So I think this film definitely deserves a thumbs up. It's still good, still great, despite a few minor flaws. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.